Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.
Looking for these better days.
It is Tuesday, December 16th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. No what? No problem. As the Steelers win on Monday Night Football, a same-game parlay heartbreak for some of us, perhaps not all of us. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mac, we start with reaction from last night's Monday Night Football game. The Steelers, a 28-15 win over the Miami Dolphins, a game that was one-sided from the get-go, as Miami's offense could not do anything the entire night. Now, their numbers at the end of the day wind up looking okay because they scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to make the game 28-15, but they went 3 and out multiple times. They really couldn't sustain any drives, and it never felt like they were in a position where you thought they had a chance to win the game.
No, and you look at Tua's final stat line, 22 for 28, 253, going far over like we expected, like the last cold game that he lost and didn't cover. 113 passer rating and a 12 QBR.
Yeah.
Now, what is one of these things not like the other? Major high leverage plays when the game is in the balance. That's what decides QBR based on EPA and adjusting for drops and also stage of the game. So great handicap. But, the whole game went exactly as we say. Even Achane out of the backfield being their leading receiver. How did we not cash that same game parlay?
So for those who are just tuning in or maybe are unaware, we did give out, as we do each and every primetime game, we gave out the same game parlay. And this is a case where there's times, because we record late night / early morning, depending on where you are in this country, and we publish the podcast and the newsletter at 6 a.m. Eastern time, sometimes the numbers that we play often are better than the closing numbers. And that's a benefit, right? And we feel great. And it's like, oh man, hey, we hit this at, -3 and it closed at 3.5. So cool, or something, whatever it was. But this was a case where when we talked about it on the pod yesterday, when we wrote it up in the newsletter, we gave out the under 41.5 as part of our 4-leg same game parlay. At over 16-1 odds, our same game parlay that we wrote up in the newsletter and talked about on the podcast, Steelers -3, under 41.5, Tua over 192.5 passing yards, and Devon Achane over 111.5 rushing and receiving yards. We talked about the combo yards being a lot more attainable than just the rushing yards, because he is a big-time receiver out of the backfield. Plus, it helps us.
And they were going to be trailing late in the game.
Yes, and it helps us get the Tua to go over with the passing yards as well. Now, this game, when I gave it out actually up on BetterDay.com, I played the under. I gave it out at 42.5 because that's what it was for the majority of the day. If you waited until kickoff, you could have gotten under 43. You could have gotten under 43.5. And that could have been a push or it could have been a win for you because the game landed exactly on 43. Tua's number went up also to like 196.5. I even saw MGM before kickoff had 200.5 for Tua, but he flies over that. And Devon Achane, his number actually, I think, settled down at like 109.5, but he flies over it as well, thanks to his 67 receiving yards to go along with his.
Imagine if we would have played Achane combo yards over and his rushing yards under. That would be an anti-correlation. I mean, obviously it wouldn't have hit anyway because of the goddamn Darren Waller touchdown in the back of the end zone in the last minute. But man, that'd be probably twice as much, 3 times as much.
It's just very disappointing. It's like we couldn't have nailed this game any better, and we came away with nothing. But hopefully,
23-0 now. The Steelers on Monday night.
Yeah, hopefully some of you did play though at the closing number of 43.5, and congratulations if you did smash a same-game parlay win. So that's pretty awesome. But the Steelers do cover the 3, Mackenzie, and as you mentioned, now 23 straight wins on Monday Night Football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the unbelievable trend of unbelievable trends is now 1-12 ATS this season, teams after playing the New York Jets. So teams after playing the New York Jets are now 1-12 ATS. That means that this coming week, we should be looking to fade the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I kind of like, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing, but I kind of like the Broncos -3 anyway. Doesn't it seem like they are much better than the Jaguars?
I know, but this is the trend of all trends. It's amazing. My goodness. The
Steelers now 2-10 without TJ Watt.
Yeah, Steelers do maintain their status atop the AFC North, but we knew that it was going to come down to the last game of the season anyway between these two teams, although maybe it doesn't because, the Ravens can't afford a hiccup now. Mm-hmm. So the Steelers winning that game just ensures that, they're in the driver's seat, obviously, and if both teams match going into that final game, we'll see what happens in that final game. But should the Ravens have a hiccup here and they play the Patriots this week, they play the Packers next week, this is the Steelers division.
Let me boot up the old NFL playoff machine. I wonder if the Steelers can possibly be in a position where they don't need that last game.
Yes, of course they can. What do you mean?
If they go 2-0 and the Ravens go 0-2,
yes.
other than that.
Other than that, it would be if the Steelers go 2-0 and the Ravens go 1-1, I think.
Yeah, let me do the old NFL play machine. Let's see. Next week, the Ravens Patriots, they lose that game. Patriots win that game. Week 17, the Ravens at Green Bay. Oh, man, they could easily lose that game.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. If they win that game and the last game, yeah, the Steelers would still be division champions. If the Steelers go 2-0 and the Ravens lose next week, win the week after that against Green Bay, Steelers would already be division champions before Week 18 is played.
Yeah, because what happens is the Steelers would be 10-6, the Ravens would be 8-8, right? And so there's no way that they can catch them even if they win the last week of the season. So Baltimore's only chance is, if they match the Steelers' record over the next 2 weeks. Now, I mentioned those two games that the Ravens have.
Man, and Ravens are still plus 105. That seems kind of daunting.
Well, because the Steelers play at the Lions next week. So, and the Steelers are underdogs in Detroit against the Lions. So
all right, so most likely, just by the odds, both teams lose next week.
Okay.
Actually, I guess the Ravens are slight favorites, but it's not outside of the imagination. The Patriots lose, and the Ravens lose and the Steelers lose.
No, what the odds are telling us, though, Mackenzie, is based
Steelers are definitely beating the Browns.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the odds are telling us the Ravens are favored over the Patriots, favored to beat the Patriots. The Steelers are favored to lose to the Lions, but then the Steelers are favored to beat the Browns, and the Ravens are favored to lose against the Packers. So it's saying what the market's saying with the price is that both teams are going to go 1-1 going to that final game.
Yeah, it's a lot more precarious though for that one for the Ravens.
Of course it is. Yeah. And here's the thing, when it comes to these futures bets, sometimes I get so frustrated with people that give out plays and stuff with the futures market and stuff. You're going to make more money if you just bet the results that you need to happen. Yeah. You're better off just betting Patriots are minus 270 to win the AFC East. Bills are plus 210. There's no reason to bet the Bills at plus 210. Instead, you can you do your parlay every week, right? Bills to beat the Browns, Patriots to lose to the Ravens. Okay, now you can do it the other. You know what I'm saying? You can map out what has to happen, and you're gonna make way more money. And by the way, you're gonna make more money even if you just do it with one of the teams. You could just money line roll over the Bills to win the next 3 games, and you're gonna make more money.
Yeah, and you almost definitely will need that, or very likely.
Yes.
You need that to win the division.
Exactly. So it's just, so that's I always get frustrated with some of these futures markets. But yes, up on FanDuel right now, Patriots minus 270 to win the AFC East. Bills are plus 210. Steelers minus 140 to win the AFC North. Ravens are plus 110. In the AFC South, the Jaguars minus 145. Texans plus 125. And in the NFC North, it is the Packers, even money, The Bears even money. Ooh. In the
Wow.
NFC.
So the Bears, I mean, that's changed even since last time I looked at it. The Bears
Yeah.
have been upgraded.
Yep.
Considerably.
Well, they are in first place. In the NFC West, Rams minus 170, Seahawks plus 220, 49ers plus 700. The way I feel about the 49ers right now, Mackenzie, is the way I felt about the Houston Texans when we bet them at plus 700 to win their division. There is a path. There is a path, and they control it, honestly.
We need the Seahawks, we as the 49ers, to win on Thursday.
Yes.
And then all we have to do is win out.
Yes.
And we're good.
That's it. I think plus 700, not a bad way to look at it. Other NFL news, Patrick Mahomes did have successful surgery yesterday to repair the torn ACL. There was actually
I was worried about that.
It was actually the torn ACL and the LCL. So he had multiple tears. And, like it could have been one of those things where like the ACL was what happened on Sunday, but like the LCL could have been damaged like earlier because, he was banged up.
He had
like,
that knee injury, yeah.
Exactly. But now like he's like sometimes like surgery can be a good thing for these guys, especially like in a lost season. So they're not making the playoffs. He has the surgery right away. Okay.
Yep.
Which means that the typical recovery is 9 months, so he's going to miss like the off-season program, but
all in for week 1.
He'll be fine. He'll be good for week 1. Like, man, is okay. I have a question. He's only going to miss 3 games. Is that
3 games, right? Yeah.
Is that enough to have him be the comeback player of the year next year?
Ooh. I do not think it's the spirit of the award. But if he has an MVP like season, or like he's like second in MVP or third, I could see him getting some votes. Usually it's the best player that came back.
Yes. But usually like you got to miss a lot of time. Yeah. Like missing the last 3 games of the season, like
in the playoffs.
Here's the thing. I think Jaden Daniels might be a better candidate.
Right.
Because Jaden Daniels has missed, and the Commanders announced yesterday actually that they're not even bringing him back. They're shutting him down for the rest of the season, which is the smart move. Their season's over. But I think he's a better candidate because he's missed a lot of games. That would be one to look at.
He might just be a better prospect for next season than Patrick Mahomes coming off an injury. I mean,
okay.
He didn't have a great year this year, but last year's numbers were better than either of the last 2 years' numbers for Patrick Mahomes.
It's okay. All right. You heard it here first.
Bold statement.
From Mackenzie Rivers. Other NFL news, Phillip Rivers will be the starting quarterback for the Colts when they take on the 49ers on Monday Night Football. It's just, is it going to look any different than what it looked like against the Seahawks?
No, it's not. 49ers roll.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is, and here's the thing. Shane Steichen actually admitted, now it didn't come out before the game, I wish it would have, but here's the thing. We bet all of the unders on Phillip Rivers, anticipating what the game plan was going to be. But they admitted after the game that Steichen said, we were hoping to win a 20-17 type game. Oh, yeah. We wanted to win a low-scoring game. We were a conservative game plan, low-scoring, things like that. What's going to change here against the 49ers? What's going to change? The bet has to be, in my opinion, Colts team total to go under.
Yeah. I think either way. I think if they do win that game that they're imagining, and the 49ers have a bad offensive game and Brock Purdy throws 3 picks, you could still win the team total under. If it goes the way I think it's going to go, it's going to be just over in the third quarter, and they're going to score 17 points, 10 points, 14 points, something like that.
I'm going to make my bold prediction as we're going to bet Phillip Rivers unders once again. His passing yardage prop for this game, 147.5. His pass attempts prop, same as it was, 27.5, so 1 down, 27.5. And his longest completion, I don't even think they have it listed. No, they don't have it listed. Okay. So that would be one I'd have to go look that up for. But up on FanDuel right now, Rivers 147.5 passing yards. They
downgraded a little bit against at home against a slightly worse defense. He only threw for 120.
Yep.
So 46.5. The team total isn't up everywhere, but just the math of it, as 6-point dogs would be about 20. If I can get a 20.5, that's a juicy number.
20.5 goes under on Monday Night Football. Also, I just want to bet Rivers unders because I can see a scenario where he does not play the whole game.
It would make it better if we knew Riley Leonard could play.
Yes.
Do we know that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, Riley Leonard, I mean, why not?
We'll see at Wednesday practice. Maybe that'll be the time to strike.
He practiced fully on Thursday and Friday last week. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. They're not making the playoffs.
Are they tanking?
Do you
They've
realize
lost their last 4?
Only 9 of Phillip Rivers' 27 pass attempts last week traveled more than 5 yards down the field?
That was a great bet on the under 27.5, 29.5.
I really hope they put it up again. I'm going to bet it again. It's going to be amazing. All right, that'll wrap up the NFL conversation. Before we move on to the NBA Cup Finals, Mackenzie, we have some college football news, although it's not really like breaking news because it's news that we already knew, and that is that Texas quarterback Arch Manning will return to Texas for the 2026 season. That is confirmed. Arch's dad, Cooper Manning, texted ESPN's Dave Wilson and said, quote, Arch is playing football at Texas next year. So this is a story that came out before the season started when Archie, Grandpa said, when everyone talked about Arch being the number 1 overall pick or potential to be the number 1 overall pick, and he was like, what are you talking about? Like, my grandson's, he's not ready to go to the NFL. He's coming back to college next year. And then Arch comes out and is like, what? No.
I mean,
who said that? What? And then it's like I've been saying all season. We should have trusted. Like Archie knew. And not only did Archie knew, Peyton knew, Eli knew, Cooper knew. Everybody knew that Arch was not ready. But we saw a different quarterback in the second half of the season. Arch had a really good finish to the season. And I'm telling you right now, Arch is the favorite in my mind to be the Heisman Trophy winner next year and the number 1 overall pick in 2027.
He's going to win any benefit of the doubt conversation with another prospect. But, I mean, he was the rookie of the year. I mean, the favorite, odds-on favorite to win Heisman this year. I feel like that was just misguided. Yep. I don't want to get back on that train if we can't just fall for the hype again. This is like what they do with the Lakers. It's like, well, they weren't as good as we thought. We were wrong all year with the hype. But this year, I don't know.
Favorite to be the number 1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft is your Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Fernando Mendoza of Indiana. The favorite to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. If the NFL season ended today, the New York Giants would hold the number 1 overall pick. However, they would likely trade out of that number 1 overall pick. The number 2, of course.
Jackson Dart's been pretty good.
Yes. What do you mean Jackson Dart's been pretty good? Jackson Dart's been great. We had this conversation yesterday.
Who else was great for the Giants?
How dare
that running back that no one has ever talked about in 13 months? What was that, Tracy Chapman or something?
Tyrone Tracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good season.
You were like,
year.
Man, did we really need Saquon Barkley? Look at this Tyrone Tracy guy.
Yeah, got Cam Scatterboot coming back. Giants are going to draft an offensive tackle. So that's a bet I will make once we get to draft bets, is the Giants are going to draft an offensive tackle. They need to shore up that line to protect their franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart, because they already have all the skill positions they need, and they already have the defensive players they need. It's going to be an offensive tackle.
I don't know if there's a quarterback that really screams has to be drafted number 1. So maybe they just draft a tackle at 1. It can happen.
Yeah, but there's going to be a quarterback needy team that trades up.
Historically, that recent history would.
It's always going to happen. So yeah. Raiders currently have the 2nd pick, Titans the 3rd pick, Cleveland 4th pick, Jets 5th pick, Arizona 6th pick. But that's all going to change over the next 3 weeks of the NFL season. All right, Mackenzie, let's get into the NBA Cup Final. NBA Cup Championship game is tonight in Las Vegas. The New York Knicks, currently up on FanDuel right now, 2.5-point favorites over the San Antonio Spurs with a total of 231.5. Mac, what do your power ratings make this spread for tonight?
The New York Knicks, I have not touched this season. They're about as good as I expected. The Spurs, I have 2 points better than at the start of the season. And throw it all into my power ratings. No home court advantage. Knicks by 2. So a little bit less than the 2.5. But my inclination would be to favor the more veteran team on a neutral court in an odd environment. So I would really make the game 2.5, unfortunately, for betting purposes.
Well, Wemby played limited minutes off the bench in the semifinal against the Lakers, right?
Right.
And they said it might be a similar. Mitch Johnson, the coach, said it's probably going to be a similar approach here against the Knicks. That Wemby's going to come off the bench and it'll be a limited role. It was not the Lakers, the Thunder, excuse me. He played 21 minutes in that game against the Thunder. He scored 15 of his 22 points in the fourth quarter, Mac. So I wonder, like, how do we feel about like a live bet on Wemby's points over?
I wonder will they'll post it?
Like, do you think like
I was gonna say, like, I think the trade-off between being fresher and knowing you can be as explosive as you can possibly be, it's almost like I would give him a similar amount of value even in 75% of the time.
no,
Like,
that's
it's not
fair.
a coincidence that the era of least minutes per game for all the stars is also the era of most efficiency on a per possession basis.
Yeah, so his points prop is let me see. His points prop right now is 21.5, and it is juiced to the over. And again, it's tough because you know he's going to get limited minutes, but
Yeah, that's too high. Like, I know he scored. I expect him to be better and play more, but 22 points in 21 minutes is not what I would expect.
I know I wish like here's what I would love to bet. I'd love to bet the points. Oh my goodness, I have an incredible bet. Oh my goodness, I have an incredible bet. All right, up on FanDuel right now, it is minus 144, okay?
Like it. Wait, what's the bet?
Wembanyama under 4.5 points in the first quarter. I mean, if he doesn't start,
like, that's such a niche bet. Wow, let me think about that.
if he doesn't start this game, and keep in mind, in the game against the Thunder, he
0
did not
points in the
check
first
into.
quarter.
Well, he didn't play in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He checked in the second quarter. So if he does, let's say he even plays in the first quarter, right? And he doesn't play to start the game, but when's he going to come in? The 8-minute mark or the 6-minute mark? Probably the 6-minute mark, right? And then maybe, or the 4-minute mark and play the last 4 minutes of the first quarter. So does he get 4.5 points in those 4 minutes? 5 points in those 4 minutes?
If he was starting as normal, the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
he's expected to score like 6 points in the first quarter. Like, it's not that far off from what it would be anyway. There's a 50-50 chance it's the same rotation. And you just said that they're intimating it's going to be the same rotation, man. That seems like a bet.
Okay, I'm going to look this up, actually. Victor Wembanyama in the – I got to break this down into quarters. Let's see. I hate the little pop-ups on the NBA stat website. It's so dumb. Like, I get bombarded with these with the cookies thing and then whatever. It's like I can't scroll and find, like, I get it. It's the way the world works, right, Mackenzie? Like, we're trying to, like, everyone's got to make money. But, like, the NBA's got this great stats website. They talk about how, like, you can find any stat you want. Just go to our website. Meanwhile, it's like the most
not
annoying.
designed to be used.
It's like-
NBA.com, they want to tell you all the stats that are available there.
Exactly.
But StatMuse, a for-profit corporation, which is not the NBA, it's a non-for-profit, 4.8 points per game in the first quarter.
Well, I got the logs here. So he's played 12 games, right? This season?
12 games, yeah.
Yep. Here's what we got. 11 4 3 8 6 0 2 2 4 9 4 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a normal number as if he was going to play 35 minutes. It's 4.5. It's like 5.5 maybe because no, it's like the average is 5, but the median, which is more important for betting it.
Here's what Mitch Johnson said. Quote, "It'll be something that Victor and I will continue to talk through. It's hard. He wants to play. He wants to start. He wants to finish. Wherever you put some minutes, that means you have less over there. We still have to think about what's best for the team, unfortunately. That decision can't be made in a vacuum. Even though it's a very impactful and influential decision, we still have to make sure it fits with the other rollout of who's playing with who and how that affects others." It feels like, Mac, if I'm a coach and I'm trying to win a basketball game, and I know I'm only going to be able to play Victor Wembanyama for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, guess where those 20 or 25 minutes are coming from? It's coming from the second half of the game.
Fourth quarter.
Maybe second quarter and fourth quarter, right? Like, give me a little run at the end of the first half and play the entire fourth quarter.
The fact that he would say he wants to start, meaning I've told him that he's not starting. Like that's what that means, man. This is, I'm giving this out. This is an official play for me. I mean, Fez talked about this sometimes. Can you give an official play on something this niche where maybe a lot of people can't get down? But this is my favorite play of the game. And we talked pre-production about how we wanted to attack this game, and I think the number's about right. But I think this number is wrong.
We are doing it. So up on FanDuel right now, this is going to be an official play for us here on the podcast for Mackenzie Rivers. We will put it up on betterday.com. So you got the free play right here on the pod by listening to the pod. How cool is that? We're going Victor Wembanyama under 4.5 points in the first quarter. It's minus 144, but I don't think he plays in the first quarter. I really don't. NBA Cup Finals is tonight. Here are your bets for the MVP. That's right, the Most Valuable Player Award. Your favorite, Mackenzie, Jalen Brunson, minus 125. Your second favorite, Victor Wembanyama, plus 380. Your third favorite, De'Aaron Fox, plus 470. Then Stephon Castle, plus 600. And then Karl Anthony Towns, 30-1. What's the bet?
So what's Brunson again?
Minus 125.
All right, so that's essentially the game line.
No, the game is minus 142, the money line up on FanDuel.
Yeah, but not. It should be the game line because Karl Anthony Towns is 30-1. Remember, this is tournament MVP. I know the last games matter more than the earlier games. You could say the semifinal, he was as good as Brunson, but for the tournament, it's not close. And I think in the final, he's probably going to play a second fiddle role.
Brunson scored 40 points in the semifinal game.
Yeah, but Victor Wembanyama, a lot of people said like defensively, he finally grew up. Whatever. He had a good moment. They had a good game against the Magic. But Brunson's the MVP of the tournament for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like minus 125 is a value play.
Yeah, you're saving 20 cents.
You're saving 20 cents
on
the
Magic
Knicks
win.
money
I'm
line.
sorry you're going to lose, but I think the Knicks are going to win.
Yeah, you're saving 20 cents on the money line right now for the Knicks by betting Brunson to be the MVP of the NBA Cup. I like it, dude. I like it a lot. All right, that'll wrap it up here for us up on Better Day. Make sure you follow us on social media. Mackenzie Rivers is at Mac and Rivers. I am at Scott's on Air. Coming up tomorrow, we will have the Trench Report, which is unveiled every single Wednesday. It is emailed out to Better Day Insider and Premium members at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So it'll be up on the website. You'll get that in your email. We'll tease a little bit of that on the podcast as well. And then we'll also talk about what else we have coming up here this week with the college football playoff beginning on Friday, our live chats that will take place this coming week and weekend as well. So plenty of content for you as always. Check out the website, betterday.com. The NBA and NHL databases continue to be a real asset. And the odds page, man, you can't find a better odds page out there. Compare the 4 major online books, player props, derivative markets. It's all there. One-touch access, and it all is for free. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.